Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Love Energy Tarot card reading. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Jane. We are all super happy to have you here. We're going to be doing something just a little different this week. In the past, we have done a collective relationship reading and a collective singles reading, which we're going to keep doing that. All right, so the description box and the comment thread down below, you'll find the timestamps for each of those. In addition to the relationship and singles reading, I've also included a 3-card pull for each zodiac sign, just to kind of give a little something more specific for each of you as well. Feel free to check them out if you want. I know that some people prefer zodiac readings, other people love the collectives. It really just depends. I thought for the love energy, we would try both. So let me know what you guys think, all right? And timestamps for everything will be in the description box and the comment thread down below. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the relationship portion of this reading. So this is for people who are in established relationships, whether that is a marriage or, a boyfriend-girlfriend situation, whatever it is. This is for you. Now, I read this reading in a very specific way. On the left-hand side, I read these cards as though this is your energy, right? The energy of the person viewing this reading. On the right-hand side is the energy of the partner. Now, it could be flip-flopped, and that's totally fine. You can kind of write that story on your own. But for simplicity reasons, this is yours, this is them. All right? So let's start with you. Now, I love the coins coming out. We got 4 of coins, 6 of coins, and 3 of coins. Now, in the past few weeks, there has been a lot of energy from this side, kind of accommodating or wanting or needing energy from over here. And this, I feel, is like you kind of taking power back and getting yourself back on track in some way, shape, or form. Let's not sugarcoat this, right? The eclipse cycle was a whole big thing for a lot of us. Not everybody. Some people had really amazing events occur, and that's wonderful. But there was a lot of heightened emotion because it was during Scorpio season with the full moon eclipse, and then we kind of had the south node eclipse and the new moon of Sagittarius. And coming off of that full moon in Taurus felt like kind of going through withdrawals almost. Like there was a lot of confusion, there was a lot of not knowing, there was a lot of emotion, there was a lot of discombobulation. And now I feel with all these coins, like you're in a position where you say, okay, my head is on straight. I'm working towards the things that I know I want to work toward. And with the 6 of coins, with the balancing of the scales there is an indication that maybe there was an area of your life that was a little neglected. And now you can dedicate the needed resources, time, energy, and attention to that particular area. And you get to reestablish balance in your life. And I feel like with the 3 of coins, there's a lot of creativity, there's a lot of productivity. And I feel like things feel, I'm not going to say normal, but they feel at least like they're moving, right? They feel like things are on track. And even with the 4 of coins, which often I could read this as being that there's a stubborn energy of some kind, I kind of like that because it's the determination that's needed to refocus. It's the determination that's needed to accomplish, to sit down, get your head into the work, and do the beautiful magician thing, which is all about creation. And this is just you, taking your power back, breathing, holding yourself accountable for things and moving in a solid direction. And that has nothing to do with your partner. This has to do with you and your life. And now your partner is over here. Now we got an extra card. So it's interesting is that in the singles reading last week, I got the King of Coins and the High Priestess in this exact same position, in the exact same placements even, which I kind of am like, oh, that's kind of weird. But I'm going to read it very differently than I read it in the singles reading. King of Coins is someone who is really empowered in this point in time. And I know that this particular side of the reading for the past several weeks, has been a lot about creation and big visions and trying to figure out their place in the world, trying to figure out what they want, where they want to go, where the best place to dedicate resources truly is. I don't know why. And I think this has a lot to do with Venus this week coming over Pluto, coming into her retrograde position. And I'm going to say it again, and I've said it a million times before. I always feel that when one of these, inner planets like Mars, Mercury, Venus, when one of these inner planets enters their first shadow phase, which is the period of time before the actual retrograde, where it goes over the retrograde degrees in the direct movement, that the initial shadow phase before the planet hits retrograde is always so much more potent than the actual retrograde itself. That's coming to an end. And there is a quality of empowerment because Pluto is absolutely involved with this whole thing. So I feel like your partner is in this empowered state. You are in a more highly empowered state. And it's like you for each of you, you for you and them for them. And there is this quality of progress and a desire for real progress. Now, the problem that I see with your partner a little bit is this Eight of Swords with the Eight of Coins reversed. This doesn't set well with me because I feel like your partner has such big aspirations and absolutely no clue how to really begin. They don't know even probably the first step, or they know and are too afraid to execute. Six of Cups tells me that there might be some quality of fantasy for them right now, like it's all a good idea in theory kind of thing. And they may know that. They may know that it's all a good idea in theory. But does the theory or does the imagination or does the fantasy translate into reality? And will it translate into reality? And will it be worth it? And I'm wondering if there is a question of, is it going to be worth it? If I take this risk, if I move in this direction, if I take this step, if I lead my family in this particular place, will it be worth it? And I think with the King of Coins energy, which is a very stubborn energy, you guys both kind of have this stubbornness. Even though this isn't technically a Taurus card, I often see it as a very Taurian quality, a very fixed earth, meaning it's very rigid and stubborn and very attached to what it believes is best. Now, you both kind of have that a little bit, and it might be clinging a little too much to the safety zone, even though the aspirations require stepping out of the safety zone. You might be kind of going into this safe place a little bit because perhaps the past few weeks have been an especially vulnerable period of time, right? You may have had like a big change in your life or a lot of emotion in your life, or there may have been some certain adjustments that needed to be made and it may have thrown things a little out of whack. There may have been a sense of not having control over things. All of those types of environments, sometimes we can snap back, right? As an adjustment thing, right? We snap back into the safety, even though we know we might not be here forever. It's not permanent, but maybe we need to come into that safety zone just to kind of recollect, regroup, so that the next time that we emerge into the next unknown thing, we at least feel like we have a little bit of groundedness, right, within us. Now, the High Priestess does indicate that I think your partner is going through some kind of receiving mode, like your partner has, I don't know, like the word I'm hearing is a whispering. Your partner has a whispering. There's a whispering in their ear, a tap on their shoulder, right? The spirit, the guides, the guardian angels are nudging your partner. This fantasy, this thing in theory, is not necessarily just in theory. I think it's an inevitability. And your partner, I think, knows that in a deep place, not in a, normal conscious place, but in a deep knowing place. The reason why it's an inevitability is because whatever this theory is, whatever this fantasy or this dream is, is very telling regarding what your partner truly values. And I'm wondering if your partner might not be having a difficult time bringing that conversationally into the relationship because they themselves are still trying to process things. Usually when we have a high priestess energy, it's just this cloud of like energetic information. And this is one of the things that I struggle with a lot with language. Like as someone who has Chiron in Gemini, Sagittarius and Uranus in the third house, like I don't really have, like I've had to work really, really hard on communication because I'm someone who naturally operates with a Mercury in the 12th house, naturally operates in the realm of like the imagination. And sometimes filtering things down into language, which is really limiting and very narrow in scope, can be really, really hard. And I think your partner, even if they're normally really good at communication and conversation, right? Even if normally that's their strong suit, I think they might be struggling with that a little bit. They're having a hard time making sense of what the high priestess is revealing to them. I'm feeling like vagueness. Like you guys know how Nostradamus's like prophecies were all very vague. But then in hindsight, you can kind of be like, oh, wow, like maybe this is really what he was talking about. Like in hindsight, this very vague phrase makes perfect sense, right? Like how I forget the actual verbiage of like the prophecy of the two towers, right? But it's so clearly 9/11, right? But there's something vague going on with them and they can't wrap their head around it and they can't fully grasp it. Now, I'm going to get to these 4 cards here now, and I want to start with the Hierophant because I love the Hierophant with the King of Coins. Now, I have also felt a very strong divine masculine energy coming from the partnership side. So it doesn't matter gender or whatever. This is the divine masculine side, okay? And I feel that connection here with the Hierophant. 2 Taurus cards. So this is here. There is this embodiment of empowerment. And that this is something that I think your partner is really needing to step into. This embodiment of ambition, this embodiment of discovery, which is a very masculine energy, right? Discovery is highly masculine. And your partner is needing to get out of a comfort zone. They're needing to push boundaries, push past the known and cross that boundary into the unknown. And I think the high priestess whispering over here is nudging them across that boundary, the known versus unknown boundary. And it's just pushing them just a little bit. And I think many of your partners will be emboldened by that. Others of you who are having difficult times in your relationship, this 8 of Swords may win. The fear may make them cower, and then they kind of get into this negative feedback loop because they know they're a King of Coins, but they sure as heck aren't acting like it, and they know they're not acting like it. So this is like a real time of people showing you their real character. And while I love what's going on over here, because I feel like you're just kind of doing your own thing, and while there's a lot of support and trust, which we have this card of trust going on, there is a lot of support and trust, and yet there is a very keen sense or a very keen understanding that you are on your track and they are on their track. And in no way, shape, or form can you do the work for them and they can't do the work for you. So you just have to let your partner grapple. You have to let them fumble through this and watch them come into the embodiment of true self-empowerment. Now, I love this. Put on some music and dance. This is like a really fun thing because we know that like dancing is such a spiritual act, movement of the body, the shedding of the karma, sweating, right? There's a cleansing that happens with dancing. There's a mindlessness that happens with dancing, especially when it's like freestyle type of dancing. And like maybe this is something that you guys can really just do for fun. Like it's fun, it's silly, it gets you out of your head, it gets your body moving, it gets you sweating, it gets you laughing, it gets you maybe even to having sex. Like it gets you to this kind of like letting go, letting loose place. Now, immediately when I was saying those words, there are going to be people out there who are watching this that are like, yeah, but that's not really our style. Like we're not silly like that. We don't do that. Guys, this is a time to play, because if you don't play, things can get really serious. And sometimes in the midst of a lot of seriousness, the playfulness is what really carries us through. And I feel like there could be an opportunity for so much laughter and so much togetherness and so much passion and heat and just kind of overall sense of joy. There could be so much of that if you create space for it. And you right now, the viewer, is most definitely in the creator position. You are the one creating and holding space this week. You're the one that can put on some music and just start dancing yourself, grab your partner, stand up in the kitchen or whatever, like just have fun with it. If you guys can't laugh, then there's probably deeper conversations that are needing to happen, okay? But this is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be good, and it definitely can be. Now let's pull out some final oracles to finish off this reading. Resilience, rise above tribulations, which we do. That's what we do as human beings. We continually rise. It doesn't mean that we rise because we suppress, right? It means we rise because we heal. And I think you guys are healing, and you on your own individual paths, you are healing and you are coming together in beautiful ways. And you are seeing the depth of your character and what that means to have a deep character, right? And then we have this sea river movement. Put on some music and dance. Move your bodies. Move, walk, stretch. Okay, do yoga, go for a hike, have sex. Like do the movement things. There is so much cleansing that happens with the movement. I always say like rivers carve canyons, movement carves canyons, changes course. And you'll be more amenable to detours. You'll be more flexible. You'll be more resilient if you just keep moving. Okay? All right, you guys. Beautiful reading. Hope you guys have an amazing week. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the singles portion of this week's reading. So if you're single, this is for you. Now, I read these sets of cards as though the left-hand side represents your energy and the right-hand side represents the external world. Okay, now, you may kind of notice a little bit of a flip-flop, and that's totally fine, but I'm going to read it as though this is yours. Now, let's start with you. I'm getting like this really serious tone coming through. We've got the Devil, we've got the King of Cups reversed, we've got the Ten of Wands. The only card here that's light is the Knight of Cups. Now, I feel like you have, I don't know, maybe you just have a lot going on, or you're feeling a bit burdened by a lot of the responsibility that you have in your life. You might be feeling quite frustrated by some of the things that you've attached to, whether it's things at work, that you promised that you would do, or things with your family or with your community that, you said, yeah, I'll do it, or you volunteered or whatever. And now you're like, oh man, why did I do that? Why did I do that to myself? I don't necessarily see like regret, but I do see like, okay, there's a lot to get done, right? There's a lot to focus on. And maybe things aren't necessarily turning out the way that you expected. And maybe you also don't really know how this is all going to come together in the end, or what the point of all this is, or whatever, right? Because with the Knight of Cups, there's definitely a quality of like idealism and hope and belief and all of that. And it's like, that's what got you into this. Here he is going straight into the Devil card. And it's like, well, all of this hope and belief and good feeling got you into this high responsibility place. And I think maybe some of you are kind of like, wait a second, that wasn't really what I intended, or that wasn't what I was expecting it to be. And maybe you're looking for the fun. Because I look over here and I see a Page of Wands, a 3 of Cups, an Ace of Cups, and a 9 of Coins. This is fun. This is like the fun side. It's very opposite. It's like, these are your friends going out, having drinks. There's love, there's romance, there's all sorts of like really cool things. But here you are like feeling burdened, or feeling held down, or feeling trapped, or feeling disempowered. King of Cups reversed. It doesn't mean you are those things. It just means you may feel those things. And you may feel like you don't really know, like, where is the end of this, and like, how long do I need to deal with this? And oh my gosh, like, I really, really, really did not intend for it to go this far. And you're just kind of in this web. And you look out and you're like, I really got into this because I thought it would be fun. And now I'm looking out at the world and everyone is having fun. They're going out, they're living these glamorous lifestyles, they're falling in love, they're traveling, they're doing whatever it is that they're doing, they're making money, 9 of Coins. And here you are like, wait. Now we have this karmic lessons card, which tells me that this is a very important place for you to go through. Now, we had so much compression during Scorpio season. And I think I'm just going to like admit this, or I think I misinterpreted the nature of Sagittarius season, because I often feel like Sagittarius season is a time of opening and freedom. I mean, that's what the archetype represents, but I don't know that I've seen that, not only, not from myself, but like from people that I've been talking to, from what I've been witnessing. Like, I don't see the Sagittarian wild Mustangs running on the beach. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see that. I kind of see an opposite. And I think with all the heavy Capricorn, with the Venus retrograde, with the Saturn, squaring Uranus, with Mars still in Scorpio, like, I think that there's still some like taffy or molasses kinds of energies going on, which is why things haven't been like opening up in the way that we may have hoped. But it's so critical that we're here right now with karmic lessons. And I love this. They're just having fun. So should you. The Knight of Cups wants to have fun. The Knight of Cups wanted to have fun, which is why he got into what he got into, not realizing that what he got into was actually a lot of work. He's looking out at the external world saying, well, everyone is having fun. I think the trick is to find the fun in the Devil and the 10 of Wands, which is annoying. Find the fun in the everyday life. You can find joy in the mundane. You can find joy even in the somewhat tedious things. All these like little bits of advice, quote unquote, that we spout off all the time. I think you're coming into a truth of that stuff. Having to learn how to really find the joy and the fun in those types of things. Even though it feels heavy, 10 of Wands. Now, I love this believe and succeed, because that's what the Knight of Cups is really good for. Here's the Pisces card. Now, throughout the beginning of 2022, I know we're not there yet. I know it's not this week. But throughout the beginning of 2022, belief, hope, and faith are going to be the themes. Really up through May, especially through April. This is what carries us through. This is what opens the new chapters. Right now, we're closing things out. This Venus conjunct Pluto is very much about closure. It's very much about things coming to an end. And sometimes in order to get things to end, we have to do the work in order to get it to close. And I think for a lot of you, this has a lot to do with the healing work, has a lot to do with forgiveness, has a lot to do with moving on, with forgetting, right? Not suppressing, but like truly forgetting. Because when you're healed, you can forget things. And truly moving on. This is what heavy Pisces is really going to be about next year, as it is the end of the zodiac and we are preparing for Jupiter in Aries. I mean, let's be honest though, okay? Jupiter comes all the way through Pisces, but he's going to come into Aries and then retrograde back into Pisces next year and then move back into Aries. So really, all of next year, fueled by belief and hope for what could possibly be while things are coming to a close. Okay, so we're kind of getting the taste of that now, and being able to find the joy in the closure and the joy of the ending of this particular era of your life. It's an important lesson. It's an important time to experience. Now, the one card I haven't spoken about is the Moon, which is kind of like there's like two couples here, and it's kind of very sexual. And because a lot of people, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people don't really like the idea of like a foursome, right? That would make a lot of people feel very uncomfortable. And I don't necessarily know that this card is recommending going out and going swinging or whatever, but I do think that this card is talking about confronting your discomfort with intimacy, your discomfort with even hedonism a little bit. And I know hedonism is a kind of a strong word. It has a specific connotation. It is not usually the best, right? It's like a very pejorative connotation normally. And yet I feel like there is a hedon, if you will, inside of you that is wanting to really just enjoy the earthy things, the body things, the carnal pleasures. And that this is a time, since it is a time of healing, since it is a time of closure, for you to this is such a weird direction that this just took. I just feel like it's almost like getting off the high road and coming into your hedonistic self a little bit more. Becoming better acquainted with the carnal, more acquainted with the body and the urges of the body. Pushing your comfort levels with your own sexuality, with your own material existence, which could be money, right? We've got a money card. We have even a sensuality card with like the cups, like drinking and eating, right? All the sensual things. So when it comes to sex, when it comes to money, when it comes to sensuality, coming into that body form and just like really confronting the areas where you have fear, even if it's just in your mind. But this is about getting uncomfortable. Like I don't see comfort here on this side. You're not in a comfortable position. You're not in a place of like feeling totally in control of things, right? You got into certain obligations because of certain fantasies that you projected onto those environments, but you walked straight into a devil situation and you didn't even know it. And so now you have to clean it up. 10 of Wands, you have to clean up the work. And I think for a lot of singles, this means going deep within yourself and really pushing boundaries within yourself. I think this is more internal because this is a moon card. This is more about like your subconscious and your deep mind and your deep emotional needs. And there may be something that you are denying because you have been labeling it as bad. You have been labeling it as something that is not spiritual or whatever. You've been pushing it away from you when really, when you witness other people out there in the external world experiencing those things, there might be something like a twinge of jealousy. there might be a twinge of, well, I want to do that too. I want to experience that too. But because it's not the high road, because it's not spiritual, because it's not whatever you say it's not, you deny yourself that. And even if this only happens in your mind, or if it only happens in your fantasy, right? This is also a very Piscean card. There's massive healing, moon, there's massive healing that can be done. Now, Mars is about to cross over the South Node this week. As Mars moves into Sagittarius on the 13th, the next few days after that, all right, the next 2 or 3 days as it comes into contact with the South Node, that is an excellent time to go into your deep places here, to go into that subconscious realm, to come into higher level understandings, right? Because this is in Sagittarius, to come into higher realms of understanding of what it is that you might be lacking, or what it is you might be denying yourself. Because if you're denying yourself something that you truly want from a soul level, because someone has told you that it is not moral, or that it is not good, or that it is not normal, or whatever the label is, but your soul may have come here to experience that. So there's resistance in that area. And that resistance might be translating into other areas of your life. And you may have no idea that there is a connection. Like sometimes when we have a certain narrative about money, let's use the 9 of coins here as an example. We have a certain narrative about money. A lot of people grow up with negative connotation around money. You have money is evil, or money indicates that you're a greedy person, or that rich people are bad, whatever it is. So you deny yourself money. If you deny yourself money, it would make sense that you may struggle in love. Because both are just energies, and we must receive abundant energies. You see? So there's something there, and everyone's going to have something different. Everyone's going to have a different little area. And even if you only go into this through meditation, through visualization, through the dream state, or through just daydreaming, whatever, if you go into that and indulge in that, I think you would be surprised as to what is going to surface for you with that, and to what's going to heal with that. Because when we move into 2022, if you're not in a position where you truly allow yourself to believe, you're immediately cutting off the source that provides, which I don't think anyone really wants to do. Okay, let's pull out some oracle cards. I forgot which ones we used for the relationship reading now. I can't remember. Oh, we used this one. Okay, that's right. Confrontation. Pick your battles wisely. I feel like there's a trigger in here somewhere. Like when you witness someone else having money, or going out and enjoying and laughing and having tons of fun with their friends, or, they're enjoying life. Like, I feel like there's a trigger. Something is triggering you. And it's time to let go of that trigger for sure. It's time to heal that pain, because I think that has been a subconscious player in a lot of things up to this point. And now is a time to say, you know what? I want that thing too. And just admit it, to just sink into it, to just allow it, and to not condemn it, because by condemning the thing, you are then in turn condemning your own soul's experience here. Activation, wind, I love that. You are activating something quite potent right now. You're activating a healing process. You are activating a completion. There is something about the closure. Something is closing with the devil. I don't know. Oh, I don't often see that with the devil card. I'm not going to lie, but there it is definitely here. There is a closure on denial of things, a closure on repression of things, a closure on past relationships, on past pain, a closure on giving your power away. Like whatever it is for you, this is it. This is the end. And I think you can feel like you're not the same person anymore. And day after day after day, that message will continually be reinforced, even bigger and bigger and bigger each day. You're not the same person anymore. That's it. Okay? I mean, what a powerful reading for you guys. I think it's going to be a great week. All right? I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, Aries, let's go ahead and pull out your 3 cards for the week. Now, remember, this is love energy specifically, so we're going to keep it very love and romance specific. So, what does Aries need to know? We have the 6 of Cups. We have 10 of Swords. And we have the Star. It feels like your dreams and aspirations are really, really important here, right? Like when it comes to love, when it comes to the way that you connect and the way that you're intimate with your partner or your future or potential partner, I see you not settling for anything other than what you truly know that you want. And I see you asking the universe for that, whether you're in an established bond or not. This is like, you're not settling. You're not pulling your boundary down to meet some kind of realistic expectation, not when the Star is present. I feel like you're hanging on to a hope, but not in a desperate way. It's that, you're really in this position of like, no, like I do believe that the best is out there. I do believe that it is possible for me. I do believe that we can get there and that we can have that. And I'm not going to let go. And I love this particular image because she has like a rope that is attached to the star, meaning she's going to allow the stars and the cosmos and the universe to truly guide her. And she's not going to overthink 10 of Swords, right? She's not going to overthink. She is not going to suppress desire. She's just going to be very real and very open and very honest with exactly what she wants and exactly what she knows she needs in a relationship. Seems to be a very open and honest place in which you find yourself, which is really beautiful. And with the 6 of Cups, there is a quality of fantasy, right? There's this quality of, like the perfect fairy tale. And as much as I hate to kind of project that out there, we all have our own idea of what a great relationship is and what it looks like. And it depends on whether or not you lower your standard or not, whether or not you're going to actually get that. I don't see Aries lowering standards. I don't see Aries, trying to figure out how this is all going to come to fruition. It's just more leaning into their faith and leaning in especially to their belief. And I think that's great because whenever the star is present, there is always, always, always an element of miracles coming to fruition in very strange, unexpected, miraculous, obviously, kinds of ways. And I think that's exactly where you should be. Okay? All right, Aries, that was your very quick little message. And hopefully this resonated a little bit, I guess. This is kind of the first time I'm doing it this way. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Hello, Taurus. All right. Let's go ahead and do your 3-card pull. This is going to be a very quick reading, keeping it very love and romance specific. Page of Cups. Ace of Cups, Queen of Cups reversed. A lot of cup energy, a lot of emotion going on right now, which I can imagine coming off of that eclipse over the past few weeks, and kind of where you are now. Now, I don't want to see any of my Taurians out there holding themselves back emotionally. But I also feel with that Page of Cups reversed that, especially if you're single and dating or trying to date or wanting or hoping for a relationship, it's very possible that when you look out there, quote unquote, you may see and may notice a lot of disempowered people. Seeing a lot of hopelessness or seeing very few options for yourself. Now, if you're in a relationship, this might be a quality of yourself where you are kind of giving up hope a little bit. Now, what I'm seeing with the Ace of Cups, though, is like holding space for the ideal scenario to come into your life, the ideal quality of fulfillment, the ideal joy, holding space for that, and then continuing to hold faith. Now, the Queen of Cups reversed, I often feel it's like put your magic down. Right now, I don't necessarily know that this is about manifestation or law of attraction or bringing things into your life. I don't necessarily know that it's about that right now. I think this is about just holding space and just knowing that when the right thing evolves and comes into your life, then it comes in and it's the time. I don't see you worrying about things. I don't see you holding time frames in your mind or holding substantial expectations, right? I just see faith. Faith in the best possible outcome. And that's pretty much it. Because I'm getting a sense that you're tired of trying. You're tired of accommodating. You're tired of looking out there and trying to relate with people that you just can't relate to. And you're moving past a lot of things. You're moving beyond the things you used to be able to put up with, the things you used to be able to deal with. You're just moving beyond. And you have less and less patience for negative energy, less and less patience for not paying attention to your own intuition. Your intuition is clearly very strong right now. There's no reason for you to doubt yourself. Like if some smoking hot person walks into a room and you even get along, it doesn't mean that you're going to let your guard down, because if that person gives you even an inkling that they're, let's say like a player, right? Or they're non-committal or they're emotionally unavailable, even an inkling of that, and you are in full trust that that instinct is correct, full trust that that feeling is not fleeting, that it is something real, that it is real information that you are picking up, and therefore completely willing to walk away while you continue to hold space for the ideal situation to enter into your life, or for the ideal situation to form in your life. And I see a fearlessness, I see a bravery coming through for you this week. And it's like the bravery in listening to yourself, the bravery in being empowered, the bravery in being connected. And sometimes by being connected to the divine, there is a feeling of disconnection with the world. It's very difficult to balance those things out sometimes. And yet still the connection with the divine, Queen of Cups, is still the primary or the priority, if you will. And I wouldn't lose that. I definitely wouldn't recommend that. And just, if you are connecting with page reverses right now, right, which are people who are just not really living up to certain expectation, it doesn't mean you have to get disappointed by that. It doesn't mean you have to be heartbroken by that. It just means you have to let them not live up to expectation and just accept kind of what that means for you moving forward, even if that is not necessarily what you want. Okay? All right, Taurus, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Hello, Gemini. Let's go ahead and get started with the 3-card pull for the week. Temperance. Strength. King of Swords reversed. I'm getting a strong feeling that people are going to test your patience this week, that they are going to push buttons a little bit. You know, there is a lot of agitation, right? We are building up to this full moon in Gemini on the 18th, in the Uranus Decan of Gemini. So it kind of makes sense that people are feeling kind of agitated and irritable, and that might not necessarily be able to communicate very well. We do have your ruling planet Mercury in Sagittarius, which means he's in detriment. He is going to be moving into Capricorn on the 13th in the next few days, which is great, but still, like, coming into the weekend, there might be some strange energy at play. And it really is just your responsibility to not get irritated with people, but to just kind of like allow people to do the irritating things and to learn how to not be bothered, how to not overthink it, how to not analyze, or how to not assign meaning to it. I feel like with this King of Swords reverse, this is your energy being very untouchable, being very unattainable. Like, this is you not letting you get, like, not allowing things to get to you. And this is an empowered place with strength especially, but there's a quality of zen with temperance too. So it's like, there are things happening, there are annoying people, there are annoying situations that you have to deal with, there are disappointments, there are all the things that life brings on a daily basis, right? But yet you are completely, I don't know, it's like you're unavailable to all of it. Now, if you're in a relationship, this may be a little bit hard because your partner may perceive you as being a little bit cold or unfeeling or a little distant or whatever. But if you communicate well and say, hey, like, it's not you, I'm just needing a little bit more private time, or I'm just needing a little bit of, you know, time to just sort of disconnect or whatever, you know, I don't think that there will be hard feelings. Sometimes the King of Swords can be very misunderstood, especially when he's reversed, because a lot of people can interpret this as being like, this person is a jerk, this person is being so mean, this person is so like cutting me off, and they can perceive this as being like your dark twin coming out. I don't think this is your dark twin at all. I think this is your balanced twins. You're both your twins coming out and working together and realizing what's worth energy and what isn't worth energy. And there's a lot that is not worth energy. And when people are in the camp of not worth Gemini's energy, they can take that personally. And when they take it personally, it can become a problem for them, but it's not a problem for you. So if there are people that you love, but you also don't want to deal with their nonsense, you can just say, hey, like, I'm really not interested in having this conversation, or like, there's no point in talking about this. Or it's not that you're insensitive. It's not that you're being, you know, a big B word. It's not that you're being harsh. It's not that you're being brutal. It's just that it's not worth the energy. And there are better things, better outlets, and better situations to dedicate those resources to. A lot of people don't have that kind of ability to, this is the beauty of mutable air, is you can switch from one thing to the next very, very quickly. This is an asset sometimes. Right now, this week, I think this is an asset. This is not, you know, this is not your downfall here. This is a power. And when things aren't worth it, when there's no growth promise there, when there's no resolution promised there, then why deal with it, right? It's not avoidance. It's dedication to growth, dedication toward the positive things, dedicated toward the things that actually truly matter. Unfortunately, I don't see a lot of sensitivity. I see a little bit of tough love coming from Gemini a little bit. But sometimes people need that tough love, right? All right. I'm going to leave you guys with that. Thank you so much, Gemini. You guys know I love you. Have an amazing week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your 3-card pull for the week. So remember that I am going to be doing this from a love energy perspective, or a romantic energy perspective. So we have a 2 of Wands, we have a 10 of Wands reversed, And we have 9 of Wands, or a lot of wands, all wands. A lot of passion, but see, the thing about these, especially the 9 and the 10 of Wands, is these are more restrained or more focused passions, right? I genuinely do not see Cancer being loose with their energy right now. I don't see you being scattered or being disorganized. I see you being very, very selective of where you're dedicating your resources right now, especially your own personal energy resources. Now, 2 of Wands is about a vision. There is a big vision at play for you right now, Cancer. There is a direction in which you wish to go. There's progress that you want to make within your relationship and all other areas of your life. I feel like you have a very good generalized vision of where you see your life headed right now. Now that may change and that's fine, but right now it's giving you the drive and the ambition to continue to work hard and to do the things that are necessary to build that vision. And unfortunately, not everyone is going to be on board with that. 9 of Wands, you are going to have to be very, very selective with your time and especially your energy, because other people, you don't want leaks, right? You don't want energetic leaks. You don't want there to be any places where, especially if it's unseen places, right? Like you don't want there to be even a pinhole leak in the bottom of your boat, because even that is going to be problematic and will eventually over time prevent you from getting to where you really want to go. So Cancer right now, I think, has very strong boundaries and very clear expectations, especially in a romantic relationship. Like there are clear expectations. It doesn't mean you can't have fun and be loose or whatever, but Cancer is not about to waste time. And so if there is a partner or potential partners or situations within a relationship that are draining in any way, shape, or form, I feel like Cancer is going to be the first to be like, yo, we need to talk about this. We need to patch this hole. We need to deal with this issue. We need to confront it head on. We need to have a conversation about it and resolve it. I don't see a lot of patience on Cancer's part this week. I think there is a little impatience, but I also think that's good for the sake of resolution. This is a great week for patching holes, right? With the Venus coming conjunct Pluto and building to that retrograde position. It's fantastic for filling the holes, because in the months to come, with the actual Venus retrograde happening, we don't need the added water weight, if you will. Okay? So have the conversations, be clear with yourself, be bold within the way you communicate with people, and to be empowered. And don't be afraid to set those boundaries and to set those expectations, because if you don't, you're going to have a problem later on. All right? I'm going to leave you with that, Cancer. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Hello, Leo. Let's go ahead and get started here with the 3 cards. So we start with 10 of Cups reversed, a Wheel of Fortune reversed, Temperance, Wheel of Fortune reversed. I feel like there's been, hold on, sorry. The Temperance is a very Zen card. It's very balanced, very detached, very observant. I feel like you've been watching yourself go through something. You've been observing yourself, kind of like in a angelic, right? Kind of a risen above type of way, almost as though it's like not even really you going through what you're going through, and being very accepting of what's happening. 10 of Cups reversed, Wheel of Fortune reversed. There's either a delay or a stagnation or a feeling like things are not rolling through, like the turnover isn't necessarily happening properly. And I feel like there's a lot of amazing stuff on the horizon here. So romantically, I look at this 10 of Cups and I see just like this beautiful, amazing relationship, which is ultimately going to contrast with the not so amazing stuff of your past, no matter how far back it was. And I see a warmth coming through. But the warmth is coming through the acceptance of kind of how the way the Wheel of Fortune seems reversed right now. There may be an outflow of things, right? There may be an outflow of money, maybe an outflow of potential dating partners if you're single, or maybe the connection within your existing relationship is, I don't know, maybe it's just not like super hot right now. I feel like there's a lack of heat, but that's okay, right? Because the Leo is strong and understands the ebbs and flows. It understands the light and the sun and the moon. It understands the contrast. And that the contrast is actually a really cool thing. And I feel like you're enjoying the ride a little bit. Even if you may be kind of complaining on the surface, I don't think you're really complaining. I think you're handling it with a lot of grace and a lot of dignity. And you're not personalizing things. I don't see you personalizing things. It's not personal. And you just simply are seeming to maintain your faith that the 10 of Cups is the inevitability for you. And that's exactly the right attitude to have in order to manifest that. So, I mean, there's really not a lot of advice this week. It's just kind of keep doing what you're doing. Being in this temperate place. This place of non-judgment, this place of non-attachment, this place of acceptance. A lot of power with that. It's very quiet, very subtle, but it's angelic at the same time. Okay? All right, Leo, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your 3-card draw for the week. Now remember, these are romantic energy readings. So let's go ahead and see what comes through for you here for Virgo. Page of Swords. 5 of Wands reversed. High Priest. Wow. I feel like Virgo is just really uninvolved in stuff right now. Just completely not interested in dealing with any kind of drama or conflict, or not even really that interested in offering opinions. I feel like you would really rather be in your own little world with the Page of Swords, with the High Priestess here. You'd rather be learning or meditating. Let's just say that. Romantically, especially if you're single, you may be really staying out of things. Now, this reminds me of the singles reading last week where it was all about like the shenanigans that you were witnessing out there, quote unquote. If you're in a relationship, probably the only person that you're going to want to be with is your partner, right? You just really want to stay out of it. And I think that's fine. I don't necessarily, because I mean, we've got this Mercury coming into Capricorn this week. Mercury is your ruling planet. And there is this quality of Saturn and Mercury, meaning, I really would just rather be a little antisocial. I probably don't really want to communicate unless I have to. Probably would really rather put my energy toward more productive things. And that's it. And I just don't know that Virgo is really going to budge. I think actually you're going to be quite stubborn with that this week. You're going to let people play out their own little mini dramas. You're going to let people deal with their consequences. You're going to let people just like do what they do. And you're not here to offer advice. You're not here to give opinions. You're not here to be some, guru trying to tell people what to do, because you know that doesn't work. And the greatest source of your magic right now, Virgo, is to really just allow things to be exactly what they are, and to allow people to learn in the hardest ways that they need to learn through in order for them to actually learn it. Because one thing about Virgo that you're so good at is the application of the lesson. Once you learn the lesson, the behavior changes. That's the beautiful thing about being a mutable energy, is you are very capable of acknowledging your own stubbornness, breaking the point of stubbornness, and evolving. Not everyone is so fortunate in that. And I feel like now is a time where you are witnessing people getting trapped in their own web, and there is no desire to try to help them. And that's it. From a romantic context, you definitely could be just not really interested in engaging unless there is a true and absolute established love and trust. Without the purity of a connection, it's probably not going to go very far. All right, kind of an interesting week for you guys. You guys know I love you. I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Libra. Welcome to your 3-card reading. Now, to be fair, okay, I already shuffled these, turned the camera on, and then my cat started attacking the tripod. She's getting to that age where she is super hyper and getting really strong. So, I didn't want to reshuffle. These were your cards that came out. So next week, I'll definitely shuffle on camera. We have the Emperor reversed, we have the Knight of Wands, and we have the Knight of Swords. Now, I see this Sagittarius Gemini axis being represented here. There is definitely a quality of movement. And really, with the Knight of Wands in the very center, I just see this girl who is just like so much in her state of joy, in her like little drum circle or whatever. She's just so happy and she's so free and she's so completely uninhibited and unencumbered by anyone else. Now, I just see you being in your own world. And I love that for you because it's a beautiful world. It's beautiful because you make it that way. And I see you running, like bolting away from people who can't share that space with you. They can't share that vibration. The Emperor reversed is a low vibration of disempowerment, a low vibration of fear. And it's not a fear of external things. It's a fear of what they themselves are. It's a really unfortunate vibration. Unfortunately, a lot of people are holding that vibration because they were taught to do that by society, by learning that they weren't good enough. And I think you've broken free from a lot of that narrative, Libra, especially those of you who are here on my channel, right? You've broken free from that narrative. You don't hold that vibration. You've grown past it. It's outmoded for you. And you really only want to vibe with people who see themselves and who see their own value, who see what they are capable of, who see what they can create. And if they hold disempowered states, if they hold fear, if they hold suppression, that is the energy that you are going to be bolting from. And you may encounter that. If you're single, you may be encountering that a lot in the romantic realm. First date, boom, immediately like, wow, this is not someone that I can really grow with because they are not interested in growing. If you're in a relationship, hopefully this is not indicative of your partner because you may be feeling very much like you want to run away from your partner. If it's not your partner and your partner is great and lovely and amazing, then that's awesome. And I think that there's a lot that the two of you can do together. And if there are insecurities, which I'm not saying you're completely devoid of insecurities, I think we all have those somewhere, then it is likely that you get to confront them this week and to push past them alongside your partner or alongside the people who are willing to grow. This has a lot to do with surrounding yourself with people who are willing to grow. Hopefully your partners, those of you who are in partnerships, are actually like that. Those of you who are in partnerships where your partner is not willing to grow, that is going to be insanely obvious right now. And for those of you who are single and who don't, you may be struggling to find people who are willing to grow. This Venus retrograde over Pluto is absolutely bringing to the forefront people's true willingness to evolve or not, willingness or lack of willingness to evolve. Unfortunately, some of you may be surprised. You may be surprised the people that you care so much about are not willing to grow. And you may be asked to leave those people behind, to run away from them, because man, oh man, does that disempowered emperor go toxic very quickly. And that is absolutely something that you will need to protect your energy from because they don't want help. That's the problem. Like if this was someone who actually wanted help, who actually did really want to change, you could help them, but they don't. And I think that you know that. And for the sake of your joy, for the sake of your happiness and your passion, you have to move on. And a little slippery, a little cold-hearted, maybe may seem that way. People may perceive it that way. But just kind of is what it is. All right? All right, Libra. Be strong. You guys know I love you. Wish you nothing but the best. Have a great week. Take care. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to the 3-card pull. Let's just go ahead and get started here. The Moon. 4 of Swords reversed. Knight of Coins. Seems like you're coming out of something. I know that eclipse cycle was intense. Scorpio season was intense. Uranus was involved. It was potent. We're officially like way out of it now. I mean, you know, we just have Mars finishing out his transit in there. But it seems like you're emerging, right? You're emerging from a very secluded place. You may have pulled away a lot within your relationships, or you may have pulled out of the world. You may have kind of completely withdrawn your name from the running, especially if you're single. You're like, you know what? I'm just really not interested. I'm not going to be going out. I'm not going to be connecting really. I'm just going to be focusing on my work. I'm going to be focusing on the things that are within my realm of control. This is a week where I think you could be really, really productive. I don't see you necessarily like super romantically available. Now, some of you are in romantic relationships, you're married, that type of thing, and that's great. And I think nothing really is going to be changing there. Maybe you'll be a little bit more open. Maybe you'll be a little bit more amenable to talking, because maybe you've had time to really process all of these very abstract energies that you've been experiencing, and you can actually put them into usable words and communicate effectively, you know, but also like, I don't necessarily know that you care about that. It's just a matter of like moving on to the next thing. Like, you went through the emotion, you went through the transformation, you went into the underground spaces, and you know, you broke your caterpillar down, and now you're a butterfly, and now you get to learn how to use your new butterfly wings. And it's almost technical. It's a very like spiritual metamorphosis process that you just went through, but it's all very technical. Like, you've gone through it so many times in your life that you're just like, okay, well, now I'm learning how to use my wings again. Here we go again. Like, we're back on this merry-go-round, and you just kind of move forward. Knight of Coins does not necessarily think a lot about stuff, not when he's upright. He just sort of does stuff. He just gets his hands in the dirt, he gets dirty, he gets in the trenches, and he just does what needs to be done. And from a romantic standpoint, maybe this is you going out and dating, but I just don't really know. Are you really even available dating-wise? Are you really available? Venus coming conjunct your ruling planet, Pluto. I mean, I think what you're wanting and needing is changing. And I'm almost kind of I just heard in my mind, like, it's almost as though you're getting to this point where you need to provide that for yourself before you can begin to expect your partner to provide that for you. So whatever it is, whether it's getting financial stability together, getting your business together, getting your health put back together, getting your home organized, getting that new car that you need. Like, I feel like you are adjusting to the frequency of the type of person that you feel you should be with. And if you're already in a marriage, this is you kind of balancing things out. That's what I think. It's like you balancing things out. And I think that's great. I think that could be a very productive use of your time, a very productive use of the Venus retrograde. Recalibrating, readjusting, reaching an equilibrium. Not necessarily super available though. Definitely not available, but you are going through the motions and you are fulfilling your obligations. And I think for right now, that's good enough. Yeah, I don't really think there's anything else that I'm feeling to say. So it'll be an interesting week, maybe not super eventful, just kind of a normal week. But I think that's a good thing, right? Given the energy or the nature of the energy the past few weeks, I think that's welcome. You know, a very uneventful week, productive week. That's going to be a welcome energy. Okay? All right, going to leave you with that. Thank you so much, Scorpio. Talk to you soon. Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to the 3-card pull portion of your reading. So let's go ahead here and take a look. 6 of Wands, 3 of Swords, the Wheel. I feel like there was a victory that came at a cost, right? Like you won at something, but it did cost you. And this is a week where I think there's like a reconciliation of that for you. So maybe some of you became single recently, right? And you became single, but it cost you a relationship. Do you see what I'm saying? Like there was a cost involved there. And it's not that you're not happy about this new situation, because I see that this was a successful transition for you. It was a successful endeavor. But it's important to enjoy the success and to mourn the loss. If you just jump right in here and deny this, then the Wheel of Fortune is going to have a very difficult time turning over. Because see, what happened here was a pretty substantial disruption in the energetic field. When you made that choice, whatever that choice was, you made that choice to move in a specific direction. And you have to acknowledge both, like the split. I feel like this was a split. It split off this way and it split off this way. And it's almost as though you're living 2 totally different realities right now. And you have to live in both. You have to acknowledge, you have to understand, you have to, because if you are in denial of this and live solely here, this will not be as rewarding and as fulfilling as you suspected. The Wheel of Fortune only rewards places where it's truly invited. And even though this is a positive energy, it has a very difficult time inviting in good energy, because there may be shame or guilt for knowing that you're not processing this. Does that make sense? There could be a negative feedback loop going on a little bit. The Wheel of Fortune wants to bring you all the good things. It wants to bring you the money. It wants to bring you the love. It wants to bring you the fulfillment and the connection and the joy and the friends. And while I think this break was necessary, this split is creating a whole new trajectory for yourself and for your life. But it will take time for that adjustment to really start manifesting the results that we all know that you are hoping for. This is a time to process. Dating, for those of you who are single, I don't know how fulfilling that's going to be for you. I feel like you're kind of caught between worlds a little bit right now. Dating superficially won't really work because this is still too prominent. You have to sit with this, whatever this was. You have to deal with it. You have to heal from it. And when you can do that, and when you do that, this will start to become more fun, will become more pleasurable, will become more real. Otherwise, this may feel just like a dream, and it may feel kind of like elusive and evasive, and it's like that weird haziness or that weird fuzziness, like where you can't really see very well. But things are turning over for you, Sag, and when this South Node officially leaves Sagittarius, I think you're going to be able to really breathe. You're going to be able to see that trajectory. You're going to be able to truly understand where it is you want to go. And that's going to be a beautiful experience for you. Okay? All right, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Have a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your 3-card pull for the week. So let's go ahead here and take a look. We have the Seven of Cups, the King of Coins, and the Sun. Oh, wow, beautiful, the Sun. I feel like where there were points of confusion, where there were points of struggle, especially in established relationships, and in terms of dating, you know, it's like you have all these options, right? There's like this point of confusion out there. I feel like it's all kind of getting filtered in with this King of Coins energy. He's really simplifying things. And I feel like the more and more simple you can make things, like the more black and white, the more on one side of the line or the other, the less and less you live in the gray area, let's say it that way, the more alive you become. And I feel like moving toward the happiness and really foregoing the practical means of things, right? Like certain relationships or certain tactics or certain things might be practical within a relationship. And that's great. And I think Capricorn really does need that practicality. But with the Sun, I feel like this is a time to be much more driven by passion, much more driven by divine light, by divine creation, even impulse, because that's going to guide you somewhere very quickly. It's going to pull you somewhere very quickly, and it's going to grow something very quickly. I don't think your instincts are off. I really don't. I haven't been getting that feeling for a long time. Like sometimes I do get these feelings of like, nah, you're not really clear. There's a fogginess, there's a haziness and whatever. But I haven't been feeling that for the past couple of months. I think the energy is very clear. Like you either feel a certain way or you don't. Your intuition is either saying something or it's not. You're either afraid or you're not. Like it's all very one side or the other. And if you continue to follow that path of like the knowingness, you're going to be opening yourself up to something absolutely incredible. Keep it simple, King of Coins. That's really the message. Keep it simple this week. Don't overthink it. Don't justify it. Don't rationalize it. It's just one thing or the other, period. And Capricorns usually they're always right? That's the annoying thing about Capricorns, like super annoying. You guys are always right, but like you are, and you are right for yourself right now. Okay? All right, I'm gonna leave you with that. Have a great week. You guys know I love you. Wish you nothing but the best. Have a great week. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your 3-card pull. So we start off with the Seven of Cups. Now remember, this is a love reading, okay? 3 of Swords, 7 of Cups, 3 of Swords, and 10 of Wands reversed. Okay. It's been a weird week, weird couple of weeks. I'm feeling like an energy of giving up, which I think is exactly what you need to do. There's been too much effort dedicated to something that just really is not working. There's been too much stubbornness and too much rigidity in one particular area. And right now it's just like impossible to keep that going. It's impossible to keep that facade going. You can't fool yourself, right? You can't escape yourself. You can't deny what you know to be true. There is an idea that you had about something that is going awry. I feel like this is a week of incredible surrender. And it has a lot to do with the way you think about something. I feel like there's a deep acceptance of truth. a truth that you have known to be true, that you have been in, not denial, but resistance. And with this 10 of Wands reverse, I just see you dropping the story, just completely like your arms are too tired. You cannot keep it going anymore. And this idea of what you think love is supposed to be, or this idea of what you think your relationship is supposed to be, or this idea of who you think you're supposed to be with, it's falling apart. This is the nature of Venus conjunct Pluto. Like, no one is coming out the same person. We are all in a rapid state of evolution right now. And that's just what it is. That's just where we are. So allow the evolution to happen. Allow the change to take place. You may feel caught between worlds a little bit, but I guarantee you've recently made the right choices. It's just sometimes a confusing transition. And right now, I think you're in the confusing, not that you are confused. You are not confused. But the transition itself might not necessarily be entirely obvious. You may perceive stagnation when there is, in fact, rapid movement. But you know where you're going. So whether it feels slow or whether it feels fast is completely irrelevant. It is moving in that direction, period. And there needs to be a quality of faith that you bring to the table, that even though it can feel like you're getting torn in multiple different directions right now, even though you're feeling tired, even though you're feeling like you have to kind of control something. This is one thing that the Uranus and Taurus transit is really showing the fixed signs, is how to let go of control, because you're not going to be able to control stuff. It's not an option for you. Controlling stuff is not an option. So you have to allow yourself to be out of control. And that deep level of surrender is an extraordinary exhibition of faith. And when you can do that, the universe opens up its doors to you and you can have anything you want. Okay? Kind of a big week, Aquarius, but still, it's just one stepping stone or one dot in a big connect the dots picture. Okay? All right, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, Pisces. Welcome to the 3-card pull. So let's go ahead and take a look here. We have the sorry for that loud noise. The Ace of Wands reversed. We have the 4 of Cups reversed. Feel like that one really wants to come out. Okay. And the Magician. Beautiful. I love all the color in this. Look, you know what you want. You know what you want. You know what kind of relationship you want. You know what kind of partner you want. You know what kind of energy you want in your life. And you have to be very exacting, very decisive. You can't be apathetic, right? You cannot avoid. And you can't pretend. Because you know that when you're pretending, you're just lying to yourself. And when you're lying to yourself, it means you're a hypocrite, right? So when it comes to dating, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to your future, when it comes to who you are as a person, this is a week of coming into absolute truth. Now, this Venus transit is very important for you because Venus is exalted in Pisces. So this is kind of like a Piscean transit, like indirectly. As much as it is like Libra and Taurus rulership Venus, right? But there's a lot of Pisces energy at play as well because of her exaltation in Pisces. So Pluto brings truth. Pluto brings endings. Pluto brings metamorphosis and change. It brings depth. And some of you who are dating, your standards are going to be really high. If you find yourself lowering your standards You already know how that's going to turn out. That's just you in denial, so don't be surprised when things work out the way they do or don't. If you continue to keep your standards high, you are deep in the magician energy and you are deep rooted in faith in the divine. That's really the place you want to be. People who lower themselves, or I'm looking at this Four of Cups reverse, it's like you're lowering yourself because it's low-hanging fruit. It's available to you now. It's easy. It's accessible. But it might not be fulfilling. It might not bring you that ecstasy or that level of like, hell yes, I am 100% in this relationship. Like unbendable commitment. You have to decide how rooted in faith you want to be. How rooted in magic you want to be. If you create something with subpar standards, who are you really hurting? I feel like with this Ace of Wands reversed, because I always see the third eye chakra illumination because there's like that fire on her forehead here. But when it's reversed, I feel like there's like some wires got crossed or something. Or you're in denial of the message that's really coming through because it's getting mixed up with the narrative of the world. You're trying to dumb down your dream. But see, the magician is here to hold space for you. This is your internal magician, and it is holding space for you to continue to level up, to continue to push yourself up and higher and stronger and better. This is a week, I think, to do small things to level up. So even if it has nothing to do with love, like going to the gym, like I was just talking to my sister who's a Pisces rising, she was just talking about going to the gym, and like she's like, I can't even like commit 2 days, like I'm struggling with even 2 days, and then I go into this spiral of like, well, you should be able to just do 2 days, and then it's like this negative feedback loop that just continually perpetuates shame and guilt, and yet she wants to go to the gym. So that's her magician saying, well, just go to the gym. And so there is this quality of being everything that you say you want to be for you. And if you find yourself sacrificing that or pulling down your standard in any way, shape, or form, then any relationship, whether existing or new, will reflect that lowered standard. And the question is that what you really want? So think about it. Think about where your inner magician is holding space for you. And I'd say meet him there. Or her there. Okay? All right, you guys, I'm going to leave you with that. Have a great week. You guys know I love you. Wish you nothing but the best. Take care.